So I saw in the news a while back something about this young couple. His name was Tanner, her name was Nikki. They had won some money and they had a brand new relationship with each other, and they just decided, this is it, let's go for it. They got that money, they won, they sold their other belongings and put the money together from that, and they bought a yacht, a wonderful sailing yacht. And then they just decided, as a young, brand new couple together, we're just gonna go sail the world together. And they set off to sail the world together, and on the second day, they sunk their boat. They just sunk it, almost irrecoverable. I shouldn't be laughing about it, but I mean, it's kind of a funny thing to read about a couple. And I'm laughing a little bit, but you know what I think is that probably for a lot of people, we approach marriage like that. You know, this couple, Tanner and Nikki, they had never done any sailing ever before. And I think in the interview they had said something like, well, but we had watched, some TV shows about sailing. When it comes to marriage, we do it like that too. We don't really know much about it, but we figure, but I've watched, what is it, Love at First Sight or Parenthood or Modern Family or any of those, and we kind of think we have a mental picture of what to do and we just go for it. But the truth is that a healthy marriage takes some real work. It doesn't happen automatically, and it's something that we need to learn about and make decisions about and give our whole selves to see that it can actually grow and be what it's meant to be in God's eyes. And marriage is this wonderful and rewarding, intimate relationship, and it can be anyway, but it doesn't happen automatically. And by the way, I just want to say, if you are not married, thanks for hanging in there with your married friends. And I hope that maybe what you learn in this time together would give you some tools for future reference, or maybe even for counseling your friends when they find themselves struggling a little bit. But no matter what, I hope you would take to heart this idea of the value of marriage because of the words of Jesus. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 19, he said, haven't you read that at the beginning, the Creator made them male and female? And he said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, they are one. And the two will become one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. So this is Jesus in one moment of his teaching, placing great value on marriage. And in fact, the words that Jesus is speaking are first spoken in Genesis, and then they're in the Gospels, and then they're further repeated in Ephesians. And it's because this is something God desires for us to recognize, that a marriage is a profound union of the two becoming one. And then when Jesus says, what God has joined together, let no one separate, that's not just a quaint phrase that is tacked on to a familiar traditional wedding ceremony or something. It's actually the heart of God. What God has joined together, let no one separate. So let me get a little bit more personal with this. If you're married, could you be honest? Are there any things that you're doing, with that spouse or even privately that actually are contributing to a separating of the marriage? Or another way to look at it would be this question: what are the things that you are actively doing to protect and build into that marriage so that a separating is less likely? I just want us to think about that together, and I want to share with you how important this is. And I know that for some of us, right now things are crazy. I mean, we're working 2 jobs, bills are piling up, we got stressed because we're in a certain stage in our career and things are hard, and the kids are everywhere, and I get it. It's a tough season for some of us, but this is even the most crucial season to make the investment as much as you can in the marriage relationship. Imagine something for a moment. Imagine you get in your car and you drive. Let's say you drive all the way up to Santa Barbara, for example, and you enjoy a little bit of time on the beach, and then you just keep on driving, but you never head into a gas station. On your way back from Santa Barbara, somewhere around Oxnard, you are going to run out of gas, and your car is not going to do anything for you. with our married lives, it is a little bit like that. We need to find the ways to put the fuel into the marriage that will allow that marriage to keep going and to continue to be the source of comfort and strength and God's goodness that it's meant to be. So I want to share in rapid fire right now 7 relationships that you can make so that your marriage will be maximized. So first of all, pray together. Yep, pray together every day, even if it's just 2 sentences over a meal at the end of over dinner, or when you put your head down on the pillow. Pray together. Pray together. Number 2, play together. Play together. Find ways to do something other than watching TV, to play together. Go out and have a picnic, go do a stroll along the edge of the field somewhere, pick up a little sport together, go to the gym together, play together however you can. And so you're gonna pray together, you're gonna play together, and lay together and be risque together. Yes, you heard it here from me. Man, it's so important, especially if you're married. Do not neglect this. Yeah, lay together and be a little risque together. This is where the oxytocin gets released at a whole new level, and the bonding happens in ways that are profoundly necessary. Don't skip it. So pray together, play together, lay together, and get away together. Get away together. And even if you don't even have any money to afford a fancy place, then do a camping trip, but get away together. Ask mom or aunt or a friend from your church to help with the kids for a little bit and get away together, out of the familiar surroundings into some place where curiosity is sparked and discoveries can be made hand in hand. Get away together and belay each other. I know it's a stretch, but I was looking for those A words. So belay each other. Belay is a word that, if you're not familiar with, it is used pretty much in rock climbing. And it refers to the way one person has the rope securely tied so that the other person can do their climbing and knowing they're safe. And so, yes, I'm stretching for that A word, but belay each other. Provide that sense of safety and security and reliability to one another. That's so instrumental in your marriage relationship. And slay together. Yeah, slay together. Find some way that you can be engaged in a common purpose, doing something side by side. That brings so much into the marriage. Serve on a team together at church, or volunteer in some way in the community together, or start working on that side hustle together. But find a way to slay together, because man, when you lock arms like that and look at some problem together and figure it out, you thrive all the more. And then stay together. Stay. Don't hit the eject button too soon. Just because things got hard, just because he did this and she did that and he said this and she said, hold on. Stay together. It may be that something so severe has happened that it's just done, but a lot of times that's not really the case. We can work through a lot if we've got the grace of God flowing in full measure in our lives. And so those are some relationships I hope you will bring into your marriage so that you can maximize it.